Hi, this is Arya from Theatre.js, the hackable animation editor for the web. So I'm going to take the next 4 minutes to show you how to animate beautiful Three.js scenes, SVG trees, or even do a light show. So let's start with this scene. This one's made with Three.js, but like we said, it could have been made with SVG or Pixie, anything really. But let's go with Three this time. And what I want to do is to animate the camera so it moves like a crane shot. Now, crane shots are complicated. There are all these subtle movements that we have to do to achieve that nice dramatic effect, but that means we have to animate a bunch of props, a lot of keyframes, and a whole lot of decimals that I just don't want to do in code. So let's use Theatre. I'm going to fetch it from NPM. It's open source, and it comes in 2 packages, Core and Studio. Core is the runtime, Studio is the animation editor, which we will remove once we're done editing. So here's Theatre in the browser, and now we can just tell it what objects we want to animate. I want to animate the camera, the light, and the fog effect. So let's tell Theatre what props these objects have. So the camera has a position, rotation, field of view, and all of that. These are the things that I can animate. The light has a color and intensity and so on. And back to the browser, the objects show up, the props are there. I can even change them, refresh the browser. The changes are still there, but obviously they're not affecting the actual scene. So let's fix that. And all we have to do is to just set up a listener on Theatre so that whenever the values of props change in Theatre, we just pass them to 3. All right, now let's make something move. I want to turn these props from static to sequenced. And there we go. So as soon as any prop is sequenced, then we get the sequence editor. Now, if you know CG tools, then you know what this is, the dope sheet, the graph editor, all that jazz. We can use a dope sheet to block out the contours of the animation, do the timings and everything. There is this isolated Bezier curve editor, just like the one in CSS editors. And we also have presets, obviously. And if you are the advanced motion designer who likes to craft all the tiny details, then the multi-track editor is there. So we can put all that fine-grained detail into our motion design. Now, before we do the actual crane shot, I want to add one more thing to this workflow. I want to be able to pick up these objects and move them around visually, like you would expect from any CG tool. Now, to do that, we have to extend Theatre with an extension. And the one that I want to show you is called Theatre R3F for people who use Three.js with React 3 Fiber. All right, let me show you how it works. Let's get it from NPM. It's also open source. And then tell Studio to extend itself with this extension. And you know, the code is much simpler now. For example, I don't have to tell Theatre that a camera has a field of view or a light has a color because this extension already does all of that. Plus, I get these snapshot editors. So I can explore the scene, select objects, tweak them, undo redo works, browser refresh works. And yeah, there you go, a visual editor for React 3 Fiber. And shipping to the end user is also simple. You know, the animation is just JSON data in local storage. We can export it to a JSON file, which is trimmed up. We put it in the repo, import, pass it to core, and then just remove the studio because we don't need it anymore. And so in the production bundle, the animation is there, but the studio is not. Okay, so if you want to get started, we have guides for Three.js, React 3 Fiber, HTML SVG, or your own library, so have a look. And if you have a question, or if you just want to chat, just ping us on Twitter and Discord. There's also email, there's DM. Please don't be a stranger, we'd love to chat. All right, thank you for watching this video, and yeah, have fun animating.